Hi everyone, it's Paul again, and we are halfway through this course, just a little more if you've already dug into that Module 4 material. I didn't get a video to you last week, so a bit of a double feature this week. Before I get to the content, let me do two very quick announcements. The first is a big thank you to Shona from Mountain Equipment Co-op, who joined us for this last module and was able to give us some really good insight into some of the decision making that went on in the case we were looking at. That's actually really fortunate that we're able to talk to somebody with that level of expertise and passion for co-ops. That was really neat. So thank you, Shona. The second thing is a quick announcement about an opportunity to work in research of cooperatives. Our friends at St. Mary's University in Halifax have a postdoctoral fellowship that they're looking at decision-making, collaborative decision-making in democratic organizations. A very cool opportunity for anyone who has a PhD in social sciences and is interested in co-ops or has experience researching co-ops. Spread the word, and if you want more information on that opportunity, certainly get in touch with me and I'd love to forward you to them. So we're halfway through the course, and I want to set your expectations for what's going to happen in the next 3 modules. What happened in the first half of the course is a little bit more straightforward. I like to think of it as the first 3 modules are the what of governance in cooperatives. And the last 3 modules are the how. So as we get into module 4 and then modules 5 and 6, you'll notice that this is going to be a little bit more theory-based than in the first 3 modules, and probably a little bit more challenging, but I hope in a good way. You'll notice that, or at least I hope you'll notice that, we've kind of built up the concepts as we've gone along to give you a scaffolding for the knowledge of the concepts that we're going to continue to use through these last few modules. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope you're able to start to, bring some of these concepts to bear on the material, on the case studies that we're going to be looking at. So I want to make a challenge to all of you to start thinking more like a behavioral economist. And I don't say that because I think behavioral economists have got it all figured out and they know everything there is to know about governance, but it's going to give you some new tools for how you look at governance. And if governance is something that you're a part of in your day-to-day life, and quite frankly, I think everyone is part of governance in their day-to-day life, in a co-op or otherwise, then these theories we're going to look at through a behavioral economics lens are something that you're going to recognize. Behavioral economics is going to give you a new set of tools to kind of take apart these ideas and reassemble them. So let me give you an example of how we can think about governance more like a behavioral economist. In Module 2, when we looked at Arthur Andersen, a lot of you in analyzing that case came up with this idea that greed was one of the motivating factors behind the collapse of Arthur Andersen. And some people brought up, what do we mean when we say greed? From a behavioral economist perspective, and I'm not one, but speaking for them, if I may, they would say greed is somehow related to these concepts we've been looking at, like opportunistic behavior. We've seen that in the past couple modules. Free riding, that's something that we're going to look at in the next 2 modules. So when we look at greed as an economic problem of opportunistic behavior or free riding, it gives us a new perspective on tools we can use to eliminate that behavior. Now, I promise you that in almost all cases that we're going to be looking at, the people who acted, greedily, who took decisions or made decisions or took actions that ended up harming their organization didn't think that they were doing things that were going to harm their organization. They probably thought that they were acting ethically and in the best interests of the organization. So greed isn't really a trait of an individual, okay? It is something that happens in organizations, and the structure, the governance of an organization will determine whether it's easy to act opportunistically, or it's easy to be a free rider, or if it's quite difficult. And we'll see that in these coming modules. So I hope this has given you a little bit of the flavor of what we're going to be seeing as we move forward. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you have to say about these case studies. I think these next 3 case studies are really getting into the most interesting stuff in this course. So I hope you feel the same, and I look forward to our conversations. Bye for now.